Well, hi there, friends. Thanks for tuning into my YouTube channel. My name is Jose Quiñones. I call myself the CNC Dude, and today I want to start a new series of videos. I'm not certain I should call them a series because it's not gonna be like a weekly or a monthly thing. It's a completely random topic. It may happen 3 times a year. It may happen 20 times a year. I don't know. I'm gonna call this new series of videos Avellane's Treasure Day. Yes, I use the term Avellane and CNC Dude interchangeably. I guess I am both persons. And you know, I could also use my social security number, but that would be slightly dangerous. So I'm gonna go with Avellane's Treasure Day, and as the name implies, it's basically a video detailing some kind of treasure that I acquired today. You know, the reason why I'm trying this series of videos is I see I watch a lot of YouTube, a lot of YouTubers, people like Mr. Pete, also known as Tool Kane, NYC CNC, the Greensmo Brothers, Tactical Keychains, That Lazy Machinist, and many others. These are just the ones that I watch the most, I guess. I watch a bunch of these videos, and some of them have to do with how to machine a part, how to grab the part, how to do some G-code and stuff like that. And there's so much to be learned by watching those videos. So thank you to all of you for putting those videos together, because the amount of information in them is crucial for us, or pretty much any beginner out there. But just recently I noticed that there are also videos that are really not about how to machine a piece or how to make something. They're just about showing stuff. And at first you might imagine, why would anybody bother with making those videos, or why would anybody spend some time watching those videos? But as it turns out, they're so entertaining, and every now and then there is a jewel, a piece of information that is so valuable. So I am hoping that with this new series of videos, I can enjoy from both of those advantages, or I should say, I hope that you guys can enjoy from those two advantages, hopefully, both entertainment and a little bit of knowledge, if at all. So every now and then I acquire stuff. Most likely it will be, and by the way, I mean, I'm continuously acquiring stuff, but what I consider a treasure is something where somebody thought it was junk and I acquired for a reasonable price, and I am ecstatic because, oh man, look at that, I just got this awesome. By the way, basically this treasure which I'm gonna talk about now, and I'll explain why I call it a treasure in a little bit. But that's what I'm calling a treasure. You know, it could be a garage sale that I found at Craigslist, or it could be something that I found at Craigslist, so I go there and for a small amount of money I acquire a lot of stuff that is extremely useful to me, or it will be useful to me, but it really wasn't useful for the person who had it, which they just don't want it anymore, but to me it's great. Like a few years ago I found this family that were having a garage sale, and they were selling off a bunch of welding equipment because somebody in the family had just retired, and they had just this humongous chest filled with goodies, and when they said $100, they needed a surgeon to reattach their arm, because I was just like, I'll take it. I'll just rip their arm with with those $100. That might be a Puerto Rican expression that doesn't make much sense in English, so my apologies if I'm confusing you here. Basically, for $100, it was a steal. I got hundreds of dollars worth of equipment for those $100. So it was that was a great treasure. Unfortunately, stuff like that doesn't happen very often. Like, that's one of the ones that I remember, and that could have easily been 3 or 4 years ago. Another year, I went to this garage sale, also found it on the Craigslist. Fantastic resource, of course. So actually, that one, the individual found me on the Craigslist because I was looking for machining equipment. So he sends me an email, hey, we're gonna have this garage sale this Saturday, and we're just pretty much selling all of my late father-in-law's machine stuff. So I go there, man, it was huge amount of tooling. So I got some of it for like 400 bucks. It wasn't one of those things where for a super small amount of money you get a lot, but it was quite a bit. I mean, it was a good deal. It was a very good deal. But stuff like that, you know, it only happens like once or twice a year. My other source of treasure would be from auctions. Now here in Dallas, I'm certain there are auctions like the ones where you go into a place and there's the guy, give me $5, give me that, blah, 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 give me that, here's the $50, you know. Yeah, it's, except that you will understand what the guy was saying. I'm certain there's auctions like that, but that's not the one where I go on a weekly basis. The one that I frequent is an auction. It's basically, I guess it's called a silent auction. So you go and watch, look at the items on Wednesday and Thursday morning, and then you write your bid on a piece of paper. And on Thursday, if you gotta go from 10 a.m. to 12, you've won. That's the day when you, that's the time when you realize, yes, I have a treasure in my hands. Awesome. That's a good place to go. The thing is that not every week there is something. I mean, they have every week they have a lot and lots of stuff, but it's not something that you may want, or it's not something that may be a treasure, right? And then, even if there is something that you want or can be a treasure, you have to get it, and that has been getting tougher. I remember 3 or 4 years ago I could walk out with something every week, or at least 3 or 4 weeks in a row. Now it's like I get something maybe 2 or 3 times a year, if at all. I think this is probably the second time I get something this year. It may be the first. I'm not certain. I haven't done the numbers. But those are my sources. It's usually the Craigslist, garage sales, which come from the Craigslist anyway, and then the auction. So as you can imagine, it's not something where I'm gonna be having something every week or or every month. Like I say, I'm recording this video today on November 8th. By the way, it's 5:23 a.m. because it's a great time for recording videos. Everybody's sleeping in the house, and I won't be disturbed while recording this. So yes, I'm getting up at 2 or 3 a.m. when I can, so that I can record these videos. That tells you the level of complexity that I'm trying to go here. But anyway, it may be a year before I can record another of these videos. Not because I want to or because I'm lazy, just because there is no treasure to be shown. So let's take a look at this treasure and why I think it's a treasure. As you can see, I have a big pile here. I'm thinking there is 1, 2, 3, 15 units. Okay? It's basically 2 pieces of plastic like this with an aluminum, and I'm thinking this looks like a TIE fighter. Yes, my special effects on TIE fighters are not the best. This could be the prototype that George Lucas used or 1976 while he was filming the first Star Wars. If so, I could sell this puppy on eBay for like $1 million. I am rich. Yeah, right. I don't think this is a TIE fighter. I have no idea what it is. I am thinking most likely the number of people on this planet that know what it is very limited. It must be something that somebody made for some reason, clearly designed custom, and it's basically 1 piece of aluminum here in the center. Actually, I call this an aluminum hole because that's basically what I got. I got a big hole here, surrounded by some aluminum, which is pretty much going to be useless, and then some plastic. I'm gonna take one of these apart off camera, and then I'm gonna come back and tell you why I think this is a treasure. Alright, I have dismantled the TIE Fighter prototype here, and basically this is what I have. A bunch of screws, have a bunch of screws here, and you know there are some grommets that may some rubber grommets that may actually come in handy. The only problem is that most likely I'm gonna put this on a pin and I'm gonna completely forget that I have them. And once you forget that you have something, it's like not having it, because if you cannot find it, most likely, I mean, if you don't know that you have it, most likely you're just gonna go and buy it whenever you need it. But this might, I have a bunch of this now, so I don't know, for some project it may come handy. So I don't know, what is this? 9 screws and some grommets, and then an aluminum hole. I'm not certain how much these go for on eBay nowadays, but I don't think I'm gonna get rich with this. It's thick aluminum. Had this been solid aluminum, like in other words, if there had not been a humongous cavity in it, there is no way I would have been able to acquire this, because most likely it would have gone for hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And I'll tell you how much I paid for the whole thing in a little bit. But obviously aluminum is a very coveted metal in the auction place. People just go there to scrap it. Unfortunately, they buy aluminum stuff and they just scrap it. Okay, so an aluminum hull, and you would imagine that I can, you know, cut and extract some aluminum, but man, that is, I mean, I'm certain that's basically what's going to happen with this, because otherwise this is going to be useless. But most likely that's the only thing that I can do with this. So this is not what I consider the treasure. And by the way, let me say that I'm not saying I don't think I hit Alubeard's treasure here, right? I mean, this is not like I was scuba diving and I found this sunken chip filled with gold doubloons. This is just, I'm basically tricking myself here into thinking, this is a treasure, but it's all subjective matter, right? Here is where I think I have some value. This is obviously machinable plastic. It has some holes, so obviously that's not gonna help. One of them is actually solid, so that's the one that is the most valuable. But where is the value here? Where is the value? So here is the deal, and this has something to do with CNC. As it turns out, you know, CNC is basically programming, and I don't know if you've done any programming before. Pretty much anybody today should have at least dabbled. I mean, anybody that grew up in the 80s and above, at least should have dabbled with a little bit of programming in high schools and school basically, or even at home or your own. And you know, programming, the computer is perfect, the errors are made by us. Now CNC is a form of programming, so rest assured you're gonna make mistakes. It doesn't matter what kind of an expert, it doesn't matter if you've been doing this for 30 years and if your brain's already like a computer CPU, at some point in time you're gonna make a mistake. Maybe less than others. I make a lot of mistakes. Most of those mistakes are recoverable, which means that I can stop the program, make changes and continue, and the machine is so good that it will in fact return to where it was supposed to and continue. So you can recover, but every now and then you just lose the part. So imagine trying something new that you've never done on a piece of aluminum, which is maybe 20 or 30 bucks. I mean, aluminum is not cheap. Usually when I do experiments, I do them in wood, because wood is maybe 2 or 3 bucks. That's why I want this plastic, because now I can do experiments on a piece of material that if it goes to waste, I don't care. If I mess this up, when I tell you how much I pay for this, you'll see it doesn't matter. Okay, so here's how the auction works. You go on Wednesday and Thursday, you put a bidding, and on Thursday at 10 a.m. they close the auction, and whoever gets it gets it. You have to pay whatever you specify was your bid plus taxes. They have a minimum bid, which means that obviously you have to bid more. The minimum bid on this was $5, so I could have not bid $5. I mean, I could bid $5. But then I have to pay $5 plus taxes, which is $5.41. So that means I have to show up with $5.41. That's kind of a mess. So what I usually like to do is take a fixed amount divided by 1.0825, and that's my bid. So I said I don't want to pay more than $6 for the whole deal. $6 divided by 1.0825, whatever that was, that's how much I give. I think it's like 554 or 555, I don't remember. And my CPU is a little bit slow to do that math calculation on my head, but maybe I'll put it down here for you to be enlightened. Anyway, the total cost of all of this material was $6. There is no way I can go wrong. I mean, $6. That's a lunch is more than $6 nowadays. Sometimes a snack is $6. So if I make a mistake running on any of this material, which basically it came to, actually let me do a calculation to see how much I pay for this. Alright, there are 15 trinkets with 2 pieces of plastic. I pay $6 for 30 pieces of plastic. That's 20 cents. 20 cents. If I mess this up, I basically wasted 20 cents. There is no way I can buy anything today with 20 cents. I mean, so it's not gonna be painful if I mess it up. That's why I consider this a treasure. Unfortunately, it's not the kind of treasure that I feel super duper amazed by, like the time that I got all of those welding tools for $100, or the time that I got all of that tooling for $400. But this will have to be the one for today. And so this is a new series. As soon as I get any other treasure, I'm gonna be trying every week to get more treasures, because pretty much what I've been doing for the past 42 years. So we'll keep on trying to get more treasures and get more videos going. So stay tuned, and thanks for subscribing. I mean, my number of subscribers has gone up lately. It's, I think 150 something. So wow, that's pretty amazing. I remember when it was like 30 and I was 30 subscribers. Where do these people come from? So thank you for subscribing, definitely. And you know, if you think a series like this is a big waste of time, feel free to comment. And if you think that is some value to it, also let me know. I'm gonna continue recording them anyway. That doesn't mean that I'm gonna post them, but I think I think there's always some good information that somebody else may take advantage from. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next treasure or the next project. Alright, I have dismantled the 15 trinkets. And what I have now is a bunch of hardware, 15 aluminum holes, some of them are anodized, and 30 pieces of plastic. This is the one that has no holes. I only have one of these, unfortunately. That would have been even more valuable if all of them were without the handle cavities. But even then, I think there is plenty of plastic to do experiments. You know, it's possible that if I had gone to a store to buy a piece of plastic like this, I would have had to pay $6. Yet on the other hand, when you pay $6 for this material, most likely you're actually helping somebody not having to deal with getting rid of it. So the cost may be more than $6, but if you can use it, then it's a bargain. Alright, I think this is it. The force is strong with this one.